Hi, welcome to Pictures, Noise and Words. I'm Hedgie, and this is Andreas again.
Hi.
Brilliant. See? Get that on cue. But this is also Tortured Demon, a band I do not know, and I'm pretty sure Andreas doesn't know either.
Never heard of them.
No. Song called Rise of the Lifeless from this album. I'm even pointing in the right direction where the album is now. Also called Rise of the Lifeless, because it's the title track, called Rise of the Lifeless from the album Rise of the Lifeless. I've said that enough now. You can't get this on Bandcamp, so you're going to have to hunt it down. I had to look. I'm sure there's links under the original video, and the link to the original video's under here. So if you really like this, you can go and find them. This band is literally about 30 minutes away from where I live in Manchester, according to the web. So yeah, that's kind of surprised me a bit. And that's really all I know about them. It's got that interesting old school name, Tortured Demon, hasn't it? So
yeah, it does. And when you sent me the link, I clicked it and I heard like the first 4 seconds, and yeah, it sounds old school from the little I've heard.
But hopefully with like modern production and you know, because that's one of the great things. All of like old, I don't think this is one, but one of the old thrash bands are coming back with modern production and making new, you know, kind of like still got their sound and everything, but just all cleaned up. And speaking of old thrash bands, they never actually came back because they never went away. But the new Overkill album is great, and it shouldn't be after all this time. But it just is great if you like that sort of thing. Anyway, that's not why we're here, is it? That's not important right now. There we go.
There it is.
I got it in. Tortured Demon, Rise of the Lifeless. We should probably just play it because I haven't got anything to say other than they live, I think, near me. So, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay then. In a 3, 2, 1, click.
was great. That was great.
I feel like I've just got dragged back in time.
Yeah.
It's definitely got more than a hint of the triviums about it. Um,
Hmm.
but it's great. Even the video was like, oh wow, we were talking about this, weren't we?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like bands on how production and video costs and everything, and how it used to be stood in a room, just you and
yeah.
the band, and it's exactly
Just
what we got.
going crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, it's literally dragged us back to 1980 something,
yeah,
but in a good way. So obviously not 1980s production. Those drums sounded great. I was like,
yeah.
ooh, ooh.
I like the little bell
Yeah,
they did.
ding, ding,
Oh
ding.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I love those things.
yeah. Um, those drums sounded great, but the whole thing just so much energy.
Yeah,
You know. Um, let's.
and they don't look too old either. So I guess they got a lot of years ahead of them.
Yeah, and I might go and find out if they're playing up the road from me and go and see them because I think it'd be a good fun thrash,
Yeah,
evening
yeah,
sort of thing. So yeah, and Tortured Demon, a name straight out of the 80s as well. So they kind of, I think, they know who they are, and they know
mm,
what they play, but they are bringing a modern, because you wouldn't have got away with a voice like that in the 80s. But our modern audiences can cope now with that sort of
yeah,
thing. So they've kind of got that. I don't want to keep saying the 80s because that's not really fair, but you can see it and you can hear it, but it is a nice modern take on it with an old school thrash feel behind it, kind of thing. I
yeah,
think,
yeah. I guess it is what is almost like it's their dad's bands they've grown up with, and they've taken those and made their own thing.
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
That if turn up in the comments, Tortured Demon, tell us how
yeah.
wrong we are. Come and tell us just how wrong us. You don't know anything. Um, I really,
No, but
really
I was
enjoyed
I
that.
was thinking that when I was watching because the like all the great big bands that are around now. We were talking earlier about Metallica, and I mean, who are gonna come after them when they're gone because they don't have too many years to go. And so I think it's great to see like all these new bands coming up.
Yeah, there's. I think. I mean, metal went through a. I don't. I'll get my years wrong now because so much time has passed. But metal was huge in the 80s,
Mm.
and then it started to die in the 90s. And I think the turn of the century was probably metal was not doing that great,
Yeah,
and it was being superseded by other things, even within metal. So like new metal came along, and it just wasn't metal anymore, if you like. And I'm going to get lots of hate mail for saying that, but and then I feel that in the last 10
mm.
years or so, it's really picked itself up. There has
Yeah,
been a huge rise in the sort of the growling and the death metal side of it, but I think metal in general has really come back up, and there's a lot of really good stuff out there now.
mm.
Um,
Yeah, it is.
um,
And I here in Sweden, we were talking festivals earlier, and I can see we had a lot of festivals with um, like mixed festivals with a lot of different bands, and a lot of those during a couple of years they went away,
yeah,
and what we're left with sort of are the metal festivals. They're still out there, and they keeps getting new ones.
mm, yeah. I think we're in a bit of a renaissance. I think.
Yeah,
Um, But anyway, yeah, I don't want to get too far into that because it's not fair on Tortured Demon, who have produced something and managed to capture all of that energy in the recording, and that's not as easy as it looks. It's very easy to you play live and you've got all of that energy, and
hmm,
it's obvious, and you kind of feed off each other, and the audience feeds off it, and the band feeds off it, and you just end up with this high energy kind of thing. And then you go into the studio and it goes away because you're not getting that sort of that feedback anymore, kind of thing. But in this case, it's all there. You can hear it. It's just. I mean, yes, a nice fast song, obviously, which helps, but it just got that sound to it, even from their studio recording.
yeah,
Video aside, because it's not like they were playing live. You can hear the recording sort of thing, and that's quite a trick. so many things get cleaned up in the studio and it loses its power or it loses its energy or however you want to say it. Or a band spends, because they can, too long trying to make it perfect and they kill it, which has been seen in the past. Bands that just spent too long in the studio and end up with some kind of like weird thing that isn't them anymore. But this he says, trying to point in the right direction. This sounds great. It's only one song, but I bet the whole thing sounds like that.
I'm definitely going to go listen to these guys.
Yeah, and this just dropped in my lap from Hold Tight PR. So there you go, Touch of Demons. Some of your money that you sent to the PR company did get spent in the right things. It didn't just get spent on their expensive coffee. They actually did send things out to people like me. And I just like, ooh, it sounds great. So the problem for bands, I guess, also when people like me go, oh, is this the sort of thing I want to put on my channel? I only listened to a couple of seconds of it, to be honest, and I kind of go, yes, no, and it's that simple. And I might have missed some great ones over time, but what can I do? I can't listen to every. I get sent so many. Yeah. So whatever it is, this has it, because literally within a couple of seconds, I was like, oh yes, and I was right.
Yeah. They the first 4 or 5 seconds I heard, you're like, yes, they promised a lot and we got it.
Yeah, you just kind of go, ooh, these people are young enough to care about what they're doing. The music industry hasn't ruined them yet.
No.
So yeah, hopefully, because they're from around here, hopefully they'll be playing not too far away in the not too distant future. I'll have to have a look. Yeah. So good job, Tortured Demon. Good job. I mean, I'm so impressed with that. And Charles will like that. Charles Murphy is one of my regular commenters. Anything thrash, he's all over like a rash. And I reckon Paz will like that too, just for its authenticity. That's what it has. Authenticity.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, that's a good word. Just managed to capture the right word towards the end. So, yeah. It leaves me to say thank you very much, Andreas, for coming on the channel this week.
Thank you for having me.
I hope it was some sort of fun. It's great.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And if you do get an email from Hedgie, do it.
Yes, don't turn me down like most people do. It's not scary. It's not difficult. But yes, the world is watching.
Yeah, I said earlier, I probably can't watch these videos myself, but we'll see.
You'll say, I should have said this, or I should have said...
Yeah.
I do. That happens to me all of the time. All right, thanks very much. Yep, see you, bye. And then I think, should have said, something. And all the time that happens. But hey ho, that's the joy it's the joy of just recording these like sort of live and not editing them. It is what it is. So thank you very much. It's great for me to have someone to bounce off as well. So it really helps me out. Hey everyone, Paz is not coming back. Just to be clear, he isn't coming back. He's a very, very busy man. I know people want him to. He isn't.
But we get some good music from him.
Yeah. I mean, I see him every day because we happen to work in the same place, which is a bit of a coincidence. I've known him since like 1989 when I joined the band he was in. So that's why we met way back in like 1989 when most of my audience was not alive, probably. And I joined the band that he was in, and I've known him ever since. So yeah, known him a long time. And now by coincidence we work in the same place, so I see him like practically every day. Anyway, so yes, so thank you very much for coming. I hope it's been some kind of fun. I've run out of things to say, so everyone, let me know your comments, not on Andreas, but on Tortured Demon. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.